In this third video for the dead on the money example, I want to show you how to do some of the analyses differently. Since you're just starting out, I originally showed you how to combine the three tables, dead Benny IDs, claim lines, and code costs using 2 steps, but we could have combined all 3 tables in 1 step. So let me show you. I could have gone to Create, Query Wizard, Simple Query Wizard, and I'm going to go back to my original tables, my original 3 tables. I'm going to tell it I want all of the fields from claim lines. I want an inner join with the dead Benny tables on the Benny ID. I want the cost added for each of the item codes. I want the description and the cost. All right, and finish. Here is the resulting query. Let's make this font a good bit smaller so we can look at this more easily. Okay, and let me kind of pull this over here. All right, and I have all of the fields. I have some fields duplicated, like Benny ID again, and you can just kind of do a little quick check and see that the Benny IDs here match the Benny IDs here, and also that the item codes match. Also, we note that the count of records is the same as we had when we did the analysis the other way, 1074. So that's good news. Okay. Now, if you want to reduce these fields, maybe we don't want to look at 2 beneficiary IDs. You can go back to the design view. Let's go to the design view and tell it that I don't really want to see both of these beneficiary IDs. Here is the one from the claim lines table. I'm going to take that away. And then on the item codes, I just want to see one of those. This is the cost and the description. This one is a code, the item code. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one away. And let's look back at that query. This is query 1. Okay. And so now I have the table with all of the information that I need. All right. So now I could sum the provider ID a different way. Now this way that I'm about to show you is a little, I find it counterintuitive, but it is another way to do it, and I'm interested in you playing around and trying queries different ways and seeing if you come up with the same results. So I'm going to show you an alternative way. Create, Query Wizard. All right, yes, I will save this. Okay. And I'm going to do a find duplicates query wizard this time. This time I'm trying to find the provider ID, the sum for each provider ID. So I'm going to do find duplicates. And I want this from the query that we've created. And that was called claim lines query 1 when I just joined the tables. And I just want I'm just going to say I want the provider ID duplicate field. Okay, that's it. And finish. And look down here, I only have 203 providers. So something's off because previously I had 206 providers. So I'm going to go to my other view. I'm going to go to my, first of all, my design view. I don't even have all the information I want yet. I want to have the cost, the sum of the cost for each provider. So I'm missing some information right now, but I'm going to show you how to add that back in. Now, one of the reasons I probably don't have all of my providers is because I only included providers that were duplicated, but I really want all my providers. So what I could do is I could change this criteria here. Right now it's saying only pull in the providers where the count is greater than 1. Here's count greater than 1. Also notice when I look at my SQL code now, notice this last line. having count of claim lines for the provider ID greater than 1. And I really wanted all of those provider IDs. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the design view. It's just easier to change it here. I'm just going to change that to 0. Okay, so that'll give me all of the provider IDs. Let's change that to 0. Let me go back and look at that query now. Oops, claim lines 1. This one, oh, the find duplicates query. Let's go to the end. Now I'm back to the same count of providers I had before, the 206. Okay, but I'm not done yet. This is the find duplicates query. So that's one of the nice things about the SQL code and the design view is you can look at the criteria and find out maybe why something you did was wrong. And hopefully if you were working with a checker, your checker would catch, wait a minute, you had 203 provider IDs, but I had 206, and that would prompt you to look back and see where some logic may have gone wrong. Okay, so view, let's go back to the design view. I'm still missing the count, or I'm sorry, the sum for the cost. So I'm going to take this variable cost and I'm going to pull it down here and say I really want the field cost here as well. All right, and on this group by, I'm going to tell it I want the sum. I want to sum the cost for each of these providers. And now I'm going to go back to the find duplicates query, and here's the sum of the cost. I'm going to go back to design view again. I want to change that format to currency, and I want 0 decimal places. Okay, so hopefully that'll pretty things up a little bit. Here's my sum of cost. Let's make this largest to smallest. And there is my provider again who entered the largest number of fraudulent claims, provider 582609. Let's see if that's what I got when I did it the other way. A count of 10 claim lines with a cost of about 21,000. Let me look at it here. Yes, this is in my other query. When I did it using the summary information, I got the same result. All right, so that's good news. And let me go ahead and find the total here. I'll do that with a simple query. Okay, yes, I will save that. Simple query for the sum of cost now. And I'm actually going to sum the sum of cost. Okay, and finish. And here is that total, and that is the same amount that we had seen previously, $1,442,334. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some ideas, or at least promotes the idea that there certainly are multiple ways to do the analysis. And again, I'll reiterate that it's important when you do these type of analysis, if you're going to be making big decisions with them, that you would want to have the analysis checked by somebody else before communicating the findings to departments that might make really big decisions based off of your analysis. All right, so that concludes the videos for the debt on the money example.